Art Battle tonight.
12 artists compete for your votes in a live competition of talent and skill on canvas. It's Art Battle.
Tonight we are in Los Angeles for this regular season event and 3 rounds of live art at the beautiful Wisdom.
Is she done?
The winner, after 3 rounds, will advance to the championship series to battle it out against artists from across the country and around the world.
The U.S. Championships are on April the 2nd, 2022
talking over
in Wichita Falls, Texas. You can get your tickets at artbattle.com, both for in-person or live streaming.
All works created live at Art Battle events are auctioned off to the highest bidder and shipped directly to you. Bid and vote at artbattle.com.
Artists, put your skills to the test. Visit artbattle.com to sign up to compete.
And now we go live to tonight's event, and with us as always is your live streaming host, Morgan Booth.
Hello, hello. Happy to be here. Holy smokes, we are already underway in Seattle. These guys let us start on time. I love the earrings. I think there's happy faces on those earrings.
Hello, hello, hello.
I think that did it.
Yep, there we're back.
Yes, there we are.
Thank you so much, everyone, for your patience as we've been getting set up for this very exciting night of live competitive painting. My name is Morgan Booth, and I will be your commentary host tonight. I am here with Art Battle co-founder Simon Plashkes. Hi, Simon.
Hello, happy to be here.
And
so what have we got for us tonight, Morgan? I think this is the second last regular season event in Seattle before the championships. So these artists we know are absolutely going to bring their A game.
Yeah, they've been working hard all season. We've got a couple of artists returning and a couple of newbies up there tonight, and they are vying for one of the last spots in the regional championship for Seattle. And the winner of that is going to move on to nationals. So very exciting night. The stakes are high. We're about 10 minutes into the first round. For all of you out in the internets that are newcomers to Art Battle is live competitive painting. These artists have 20 minutes to go from blank canvas to incredible piece in front of your eyes. And you will be able to vote at artbattle.com.
Oh my God.
/vote.
Look at this. We have an artist who's finished their work, and I think we're at only about 5 minutes in on this round. And we have Michelle, who's written, "Sorry, I'm an ass," and she's done.
I love that she's just sitting camped out at her easel, just doing a little jig there. And this is actually very similar to Michelle's studio work. She does a lot of, pardon the pun, but cheeky illustrations. Of kind of blob characters that have arms and legs and witty little sayings. Quite quirky.
And a beautiful floral setup here. I look at that palette. That's an experienced artist there who's arranged that palette. Maybe still working with acrylic paints? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and maybe a little bit of oil pastel there as well. I'm seeing, I think, from this is Jeff Manderville.
Yeah, right. I think we've had Jeff in the competition before. Is that right?
Yes, we had him in December. Was his first battle. So welcome back, Jeff.
Oh well, he's definitely looking for a shot at the championship. But Mo Wilhelm, we've certainly seen her before, and a fantastic artist and a beautiful, I think, otter is what we're looking at here.
Very excited about this.
Very excited.
I love
absolutely.
otters. One of my favorite animals. And look at the texture of the fur that she's got going, even in just these few minutes.
Very good texture. Really nice. And good use of the reference, too, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's because it's appreciated because she's using the reference sort of for the, you know, the form and the shape of it, but I feel like the texture is all her own.
Yeah, I agree. And that's just one of my favorite things about seeing artists with references at Art Battle, seeing how they're translating the reference. Like, what is the leap in the artist's mind between what they're seeing in their reference and what their own creative filter is bringing to the easel? And I think that's quite evident here with, I think this is Rhea.
Right.
Rhea,
and
she's got a photographic reference, and we're seeing a lot of stylistic choices being brought out and added to this reference.
I like that. And there's definitely a bit of a, you know, sort of mental health theme on her work as well, with the earrings with the happy face and the frowny face.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice. It reminds us, you know, that sort of like they're inside you, there's two wolves.
And keeping it contemporary with the emojis too, a little bit cheeky there. I like it. And here we are with Tor Keeling. And Tor looks like he's taking a pretty painterly approach to this portrait here, kind of chipping in the shadows and blending on the canvas.
Beautiful, beautiful work. Interesting palette choice for the, interesting color choice for the skin there. It's kind of, a bit of a superhero situation going on.
And it matches his shirt.
It does match your shirt.
I've actually been finding that a lot as we've been doing these
Artists
streams.
love to match their outfits to
Yeah.
their paintings. It's actually a brilliant touch because you know what you're going to do in terms of palette. So then to be able to match your wardrobe is a very performative and a good move.
Yeah, and then the artist, you're able to find them easily out in the crowd when they're finished their painting. You're like, oh, she's the one that, or he's the one that did the green face and the green shirt.
Yes, exactly. Well, a lot of green going on here. This is that's interesting. Is that a bubblegum genitals situation there in there?
From Karsten McCauley. So Karsten likes to do psychedelic and cartoony works, and I think that this is very evident in this piece. We've got kind of a psychedelic mushroom going on, and the cartoony execution there.
This one too really gets me.
Great.
This should be very interesting. We'll come back specifically and let this artist let you know where this artist ended up on the with the votes. Of course, you guys out there in internet land are more than welcome to come and join us to vote. You are able to go and register at artbattle.com/vote and have your say. Does the story I'm going to ask take it for you, or are you looking for something more?
So an added layer to Michelle's work is that she says that she likes to bring playfulness in her characters to promote comfort within your own body. So
well, that's cool.
Yeah, so what better way to do that than a big orange bottom?
I think what I appreciate most about what she's done, we should be talking about Jeff, who's on the screen now, but I think I appreciate most about what she's done is the commitment to sort of for herself to be a part of the piece. I mean, she's sitting in front of it. She hasn't wandered off. She's there. She's sort of embodying the message of sorry. She's present. She's there. She's engaging with the audience still. She's facing the audience. So
yeah,
there's something to that.
There. Wow, the texture that Jeff has going on here is just incredible. We're seeing like all of these touches in the flowers are just really capturing the light coming across it, and you can really see the texture, the way that it's raised. And here we are back with Mo Willem. And I love how vibrant she's left that pink tongue of the otter. I really hope that that it stays that vibrant.
I can only imagine that it will. I think this is a definite contender for heading to the final round. Mo's an artist to beat here. She has I think a 3 event at least experience, including tonight's event. So definitely we're seeing that A game that we're talking about going into the finals next month.
Yeah, she did not come to play. This is
look, Jeff's using Jeff on the background there is using a spray bottle to wet that painting.
Oh,
that should be very interesting the next time we come around.
All right, and here we are back with Raya. I'm enjoying this kind of lilac color with the yellow color play on top. I think it's really fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
very spring. I mean, optimistic in the sense that we're already in spring, but it's very spring.
Yeah, I think it's a really like fun piece, but without being like twee. It's not too like sweet. It's still very painterly, but we're having a lot of fun with it and getting that kind of sense of joyfulness through the color palette, but also still a very considered and painterly execution of the figure.
Yeah, I think so. But there's something about, you were talking about painterly, there's something painterly about this next piece here that I think for me sort of punches through a little bit more. Mm-hmm. It's cleaner. There's only a few elements. And the brushstroke action that you do see feels very intentional rather than sort of just a function of it being only 20 minutes.
Yeah, and I feel that Tor is probably an oil painter, probably coming from an oil painting background. I always pick those artists out because they tend to do a lot of blending on the canvas. And Oil painters are the only painters that I know that wear gloves.
Right. You cannot get that off.
Yeah. So here he is bringing those techniques into the acrylic arena.
So this is where we saw the spray, I'm pretty sure. It's interesting. You don't see it. I guess those colors are pretty nicely blended,
Mm-hmm.
but I was kind of expecting to see a bit of drip action almost coming off those flowers.
Yeah. And looks like we are finished the round now.
Okay, well, at the end of round one, you watching at home are welcome to get your votes in artbattle.com/vote. You can also bid on these paintings, and we'd be happy to ship them to you wherever you may be. So this is round one of 3 rounds in Art Battle Seattle tonight. We will have the 2 winners from this round go on to compete against the 2 winners from round 2 for a 3rd and final round.
So exciting. Okay, and we will be right back. Head on over to artbattle.com/vote.
Round two. I love round two.
I love round two.
Oh, speaking of round two coming up, let's do the thing here. I'm going to click this guy here.
Okay.
Art Battle tonight.
12 artists compete for your votes in a live competition of talent and skill on canvas. It's Art Battle.
Tonight we are in Los Angeles for this regular season event and 3 rounds of live art at the beautiful Wisdom, LA.
The winner after 3 rounds will advance to the championship series to battle it out against artists from across the country and around the world.
The U.S. Championships are on April the 2nd, 2022 in Wichita Falls, Texas. You can get your tickets at artbattle.com, both for in-person or live streaming.
All works created live at Art Battle events are auctioned off to the highest bidder and shipped directly to you. Bid and vote at artbattle.com.
Artists, put your skills to the test. Visit artbattle.com to sign up to compete.
And now we go live to tonight's event, and with us as always is your live streaming host, Morgan Booth.
Morgan Booth.
Hello, and welcome back to Art Battle Seattle. I'm pretty excited. We've got another round. This is the second round. We've got 20 minutes going to be on the clock and 6 new artists to go from blank canvas to incredible creation. We're checking out right now the pieces from round number 1 and getting ready to announce the artists in round number 2. And I'm here with Art Battle co-founder Simon Plashkes joining me for commentary tonight.
Hello. A fantastic night for live art in Seattle. Look at this crowd. Half masked, half unmasked. We're really coming to the end of this thing.
Yeah, it's very good to see.
Should we hear a little bit of what's going on in the venue? Let's hear what they have to say. right, Morgan. I think we are ready to go in round two.
Very exciting. 6 new artists that we just saw get introduced. A couple of newbies. Lots of artists joining us again, which I always love to see. Our battle becomes an addiction.
Oh, look
right?
at this. This is such a great palette on Brittany
Pro.
Sylvester, who we've seen a couple of times, a fantastic artist. That is a pro palette. I think she brought her own even there, an acrylic sheet.
Glass palette.
A very clean one.
Nice.
Yeah. And here, Christopher Dahl, also an Art Battle Seattle veteran. I see what's going on here. These guys all want the opportunity to make it to the finals, the Seattle finals, Washington State finals, really, in hopes to attend the national championships, because these are some heavy hitters coming in here.
Oh yeah, they're taking their chance. All right, and 20 minutes on the clock. The round has officially started, and I don't know about you, but I'm ready.
I'm thrilled. You see this list of artists, and you're all, it's all going to unfold in front of us here. But this is a very talented group. You're going to see some great paintings.
I love even just seeing the pure arsenal of paint that Billy's got at the bottom of his easel there. He did not come to play.
Yes. Oh man, each of these palettes is such a diverse approach. I love this here. A very, very limited palette, but of course, as you point out, we've got what's on the ground. But that's a work of art just in itself.
And lots of sketching starting off in this first 50 seconds here. We've got Alexis Gamber with one pencil on the canvas and one behind her back, ready to switch out at a moment's notice. And looks like she's using some sketches of her own for her reference as well.
I love that. To me, that's it's the purest. It's the purest approach. You know, you want to do some pre-work, no problem. You sketch it out yourself. This comes truly from the artist's heart, but she wants to do the work to deliver the absolute very best to this audience. And we have Kayla Easterton Goodwin here, and starting off. Is that only yellow she's got, or is she holding her palette? Oh, she's holding her palette. Okay, there we go. And well,
this
that's,
reminds me of a painting that we saw in the first round.
Yeah. Oh, look at this beautiful sketch here. That's really, really nice work. Those lips are so nicely defined. Again, Brittany, an art battle vet, looking to earn her place in the finals, are really fantastic.
Oh, and it looks like we're just going to be swinging around to Christopher Dahl. I'm not going to lie, Christopher is one of my personal favorites. I love seeing him paint. He's always doing these space meets sci-fi scenes, and just his ability to execute is so good. Can't wait to see what he comes up with tonight. What
do you think we're expecting? I mean, obviously this is it feels a bit landscape sunset situation. Is this commonly what we expect from Christopher's work?
I'm not sure. I've seen a lot of spacecraft in flight from him, but we're almost getting what looks like a horizon line. So I think you could be right that we might be going maybe for a spacey landscape.
I loved what we just saw on Indigo. They are doing it's a sketch, but it's a paint sketch. So that gives something for the audience, even a few people back, to be able to see exactly what's going on, rather than some of these light pencil sketches, really, which are intended to be, taken away by the painting process.
And here we are back with Billy, and we're getting a lot of texture from Billy right now, and it looks like he's covered his whole canvas in this kind of buttercream yellow and is now trying to achieve opacity with the white on top of there with a pretty thick application, which is difficult to do with wet paint underneath.
This is beautiful. Again, this is coming from the mind of Alexis. You can see there her sketches. I think we're seeing definitely Tyrannosaurus Rexes in beautiful dresses.
So cool.
So,
her
You can't get a reference material of that. You can't find that except in the mind of the art battle artist here tonight.
Yeah, that's definitely some originality. And even the way the MC announced her as Alexis Gamber, that Victorian dinosaur lady. So she's staying true to brand.
Very good. Well, hey, when you've got something that works, you don't change it.
And we've got Kayla here. And I believe that we're seeing a figure from Kayla, and I'm a little bit surprised because I know that in her studio work, she's usually a landscape painter, so throwing us a little bit of a curveball there.
A curveball indeed. I think that's probably a play for audience votes.
Yeah,
it's hard to
figures
tell,
do well.
but yeah, figures do well. People like to see themselves really in a painting. Oh, look at this with the tape over the eyes.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
Brittany's got some great technique going on here. Looks like she's building with washes and starting to add in some of those more subtle details with some darks.
She seems to be holding the tape on there. I wonder what that's going to look like.
Yeah, I think she's having some adherence issues with it being a wet canvas.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I do believe that we are getting this kind of otherworldly landscape. So good call, Sai. And
oh yeah, we're going to see both of them. I think we're eventually going to get a spaceship coming in here. That's a beautiful spire. Definitely feels a bit, futuristic lighthouse sort of situation.
And that kind of fuchsia coming in on the bottom of the clouds. Okay.
You see our host there encouraging the audience to move in what we like to call the slow tornado of art appreciation. But for you here watching at home, we get to have, we live inside the tornado.
Truly one of my favorite expressions. It really captures like what's going on here. And from Indigo.
And what is going on here? Indigo, yeah.
So very abstract. Oh, and now our super smart
the
camera
reference
person
there
is helping us out with this reference. So
we're seeing bodies. That's a bit of an a pose, bit of an exciting pose there. I haven't seen it come through in the painting yet, but obviously those forms on the right there. That's what's coming up.
And from Billy here, looks like he's building a skull with quite a lot of texture. And kind of
skull?
This gaping maw. I think it's a skull. What do you think?
I don't even know. Maybe my imagination turned off. I can't even see a skull when I try. I do love this palette though. This the pale gray and the pale yellow is really doing it for me, especially with so much, sort of micro diversity in the gray.
Mm-hmm. And speaking of the subtle shift in tones, Alexis is really doing a great job layering some cerulean on top of that ultramarine blue to add in those highlights there. And I can see
if you're in the bluists. If you're in the Art Battle Bluists Club, this will most likely be your vote here tonight. I mean, I think you're obligated by the terms of the Bluist Club membership to vote for this painting. Definitely one of the highlights of this piece is the work and the gradients and the texture within the blue.
And I also have to say, I'm really enjoying the gesture of this claw. From this dino over here, just looking at this subtle, elegant extension of the
holding an umbrella.
Wrist.
It is. It's a beautiful story.
Yeah, so good. And getting a lot of warmth from Kayla's piece here.
Mm-hmm.
An interesting execution here using layering the darks in this way, because usually we're used to seeing the outline of the figure and the outermost edges of the figure rendered in darks. And so the way that she's doing it now, we're really getting a sense of light hitting the figure, I think.
Yes. A lot of negative space action going on here.
And it looks like a bikini from the back, I think. I wonder if we're going to get I was really hoping for some polka dots there.
I think she slipped there. That's too much. That's too much red out of the white.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, definitely bikini from the back. I mean, hard to argue, but I think she's going to need to provide a little bit more depth to it, a little bit more complexity in the time that is remaining.
Yeah, I wonder. So she's executed with 2 colors right now, and I wonder if she's gonna get 2 more in. That's what I would love to see before the end of the round. So, kind of 5 minutes per color is what she was doing.
Interesting. Well, this has got to be a contender for winner, certainly in the top. Is this Mo?
This is Brittany.
Brittany. This is Brittany. Wow. And are the eyes under there or not? I don't think they are. But that's really something. I'm very curious. It's almost performative. I mean, given the style of her brushwork, which is pretty sort of, micro, the eye covering is not even really necessary. But yet it's super captivating. So I think that it's a very interesting choice to have it there just sort of as a color block element to capture the audience's attention.
Yeah, it's a great, it flags your attention for sure. And here we are back with Christopher Dahl, and this, the color gradient between the water and into the sky is just beautiful.
Yeah, a palette from another dimension, but also really feels. This is a very special piece, actually. I think there's some strong competition from some of the figures, but I mean, this is definitely one that somebody's going to want to take home, either there in the crowd or from bidding online at artbattle.com. But that's a beautiful piece. That'd be nice to hang in any room of the home.
And Indigo, this figure is starting to emerge in Indigo's piece, and we're capturing one of my personal favorite moments from any artist, and it's when they're starting to kind of bring that background in closer, and it's almost like a carving technique, like where the figure is starting to come forward with the introduction of the contrast of the background there. And so looks like she's done a really incredible job there, just carving out kind of that cheek of this figure here.
Yeah, is that a nose? Are we seeing the side profile of a face? Because if that's a nose, that line work was really, really precise and still very painterly, but it revealed it in a beautiful way.
And here we are with Billy and his absolute litany of paint.
And these are in these bottles, no doubt these are a little bit more liquid, and of course that's why we're seeing Billy on the ground here, so that the very liquid paints don't immediately drip down the canvas. Oh, yeah, there you go. Look. Oh, of course, there's the skull. I don't know how I didn't see that before, Morgan. Yeah, my imagination was broken. So this is a skull emoting something pretty fierce. I like it. That's nice.
And we've got some fuchsia introduced to the background of our dino period piece here.
Oh my God, is this faux blood? I think
it's ink.
The dino, I know, but I mean, like, is it representing blood in the set? Like, because there's some of it on the dino's face, almost like this T-Rex has just had a meal. Whoa. Alexis Gamber. There you go. That's what you get from the mind of an artist. Sit around thinking all day. Oh, well.
And we are getting more colors from Kayla. So just as I wanted, we've gotten precisely 2 more colors.
Yeah, well, that's very measured of her to take that approach.
Yeah.
It's interesting because people sort of know where it's going, and I think like us, to be honest, it's sort of a bit underwhelming in the sort of the midpoint. But as we're taking it into the home stretch here, this very stark color differences in the strokes really bring out something magical about this piece. It's very nice.
Yeah, and some beautiful kind of gestural lines in the wrists there of the figure. And here we are
Oh my
back
God,
with
this might be my
So
favorite
good.
painting in weeks. This is so good. The way that because obviously one of the problems with using tape when you're a painter is incomplete adhesion or paint leaking underneath.
Mm-hmm.
It's a real pain in the ass usually, but it's been used as a technique here, I think. And she's bridged it with a couple of extra brush strokes there, but that feels so organic and yet almost sci-fi, but yet with this super pastel palette. Ooh, that's a fantastic work.
Absolutely, and kind of that sherbet quality of the orange. And back with Christopher here. Speaking of sherbet, we've got all of these soft, beautiful colors blending into one another, and now he's working with a fan brush to kind of really lay into the texture of this landscape. And also looks like we've got just the suggestion of this giant celestial body in the sky here.
Wow.
Something I always admire about Christopher's work is that he's able to achieve a lot of subtlety, but his brushstrokes are actually really still very painterly, and there's not a huge amount of blending once he's going over top of his background. So I always love that. Wow, incredible figure from Indigo. I have to say, I did not expect the evolution of this piece in this way, and it's been a really pleasant ride.
Yeah, I still think there's a ways to go on that one, and there's not a lot of time left. How much time is left?
4 minutes and 20 seconds.
4 minutes. There's still a chance there, but wow. Wow. I was saying how much earlier that I loved this sort of pale yellow, pale gray palette, and it's still really evocative, and I'm really excited about it. But I don't know. It's an interesting direction with sort of it's about 10% Art Battle Purple muddy paint, but yet it's not. It's really stood on its own. Unlike this piece, which is very vibrant and unmuddied in every important way. It's
Yeah,
really
Alexis
nice.
has done a really great job at compartmentalizing her colors and getting lots of blends in without making any mud. There's like pure vibrancy in every spot that she's wanted. She's done a really great job of mapping this out.
I wonder how many brushes she's using.
Ooh, good call. Because that's a big factor.
That's tough.
In
Yeah.
in making sure that a piece is not muddy. It's just making sure that you're switching your brushes out if you want it to have that pure color application.
Uh-huh. Is this from a reference, this piece? I think it is, right?
Not sure. I don't think that I've seen a paper reference from Kayla at the easel, but I could be wrong.
I want to know because that color, the dark and light, the shading there.
Oh, Simon,
It's
look.
so good. It's so
Oh.
good.
Listen, if you're watching this and you're not bidding on this painting online, in a way I appreciate it because it'll mean that I can bid on it and have it shipped directly to my home and put on my wall. This is amazing.
I
Wow.
don't think any of us expected that neon kind of chartreuse element
No.
pop in the
I mean,
last
normally you would have done
minute.
that first. You would have done that first. I can't even understand how she did that because you see those little like dappled points in the pink color or whatever that is. Then the green under it, but it wasn't there before. She might have
Yeah.
redone those dappled points.
Just very performative. Like the painting itself
Yeah.
is standing alone as a visual object, but also the performance element of Brittany's
Yeah.
execution
The time
has
lapse.
been really strong.
The time lapse. Sometimes we do time lapses of the paintings, but unfortunately not tonight. But the time lapse of that painting would be a very, very enjoyable piece.
Mm-hmm. And Christopher here just putting in his final subtle little details here. Looks like he's being pretty considered.
This
and
is the
very,
cover of my next favorite sci-fi book, for
right?
sure.
Asimov.
Yeah.
Asimov fans.
Asimov, exactly. Foundation 42.
And here we are back with Indigo. And honestly, this is one of our more subtle pieces from this round, but I think this one might be a close favorite for me, just in the subtlety. And I think that we're getting the sense of the figure's legs coming from a bath or water almost. There's a really...
That's so interesting. It's really, I gotta say, it's, just to provoke some more dynamic conversation, it's really not doing it for me for some reason. I want to like it, and I appreciate there's a few lines in there that I do like, but overall it feels too round and soft to me in its, I don't know. That's
and that's funny
something
because
there.
that's what I like about it, right? And this is the beauty of Art Battle is picking your favorite painting and feeling connected to it, and sometimes defending that as well. So if you guys are out there,
if you've got an opinion, which one what do you think? Morgan's into that, and I do appreciate it, but we'd be very interested to hear what you have to say about any of these paintings, aspects that you appreciate, and if you got something nice to say, we'll even try to pass it on to the artist.
Absolutely. And our final few seconds winding down here. Make sure that you guys head on over to artbattle.com/vote. Vote for these artists.
Oh my God, Brittany's in for sure. Look at this.
So good.
I'm going
and
over
such
to
a
bid
subtle
right now.
Color palette too, but man, so good.
I'm actually not even registered to vote, so I'm going to go myself over to artbattle.com/vote and register myself. There we go.
Beautiful.
So we'll be back in about 15-20 minutes to see the winners of rounds 1 and 2, 2 each, go on for a 4-way final and to decide the ultimate winner. That artist will be guaranteed a spot at the Seattle City Finals, which is the regional finals for Washington State, which will also include events from Tacoma and artists from a few other locations. The winner of that event that we're talking about will then go on to the National Championships. The National Championships this year are in Wichita Falls, and it's going to be an amazing night. If you can make it out, flying to Dallas is always a good price. We would be thrilled to have you join us, and anybody who does join us from Points Far, we will be sure to make your experience a special experience. So don't hesitate. Wichita Falls is a great city. I've been there a few times myself, and we would be thrilled for you to be there. So stick with us. Go to artbattle.com/vote to vote and to bid, and join us on Facebook or on YouTube. Post a comment there. We'd love to hear from you, and we'll be back in just a few minutes.
Making a whole lot of sense for being self-taught. He really done acrylics and oils paintings on canvases, and he describes them in detail by painting practice rooted in nature and culture. And
Round 2.
I love round 2.
I love round two. Oh, speaking of round two coming up, let's do the thing here. I'm going to click this guy here.
Okay.
Art Battle tonight.
12 artists compete for your votes in a live competition of talent and skill on canvas. It's Art Battle.
Tonight we are in Los Angeles for this regular season event and 3 rounds of live art at the beautiful Wisdom, LA.
The winner, after 3 rounds, will advance to the championship series to battle it out against artists from across the country and around the world.
The U.S. Championships are on April the 2nd, 2022 in Wichita Falls, Texas. You can get your tickets at artbattle.com, both for in-person or live streaming.
All works created live at Art Battle events are auctioned off to the highest bidder and shipped directly to you. Bid and vote at artbattle.com.
Artists, put your skills to the test. Visit artbattle.com to sign up to compete.
And now we go live to tonight's event, and with us as always is your live streaming host, Morgan Booth.
Morgan Booth.
Hello, and welcome back to Art Battle Seattle. I'm pretty excited. We've got another round. This is the second round. We've got 20 minutes going to be on the clock and 6 new artists to go from blank canvas to incredible creation. We're checking out right now the pieces from round number 1 and getting ready to announce the artists in round number 2. And I'm here with Art Battle co-founder Simon Plashkes joining me for commentary tonight.
Hello. A fantastic night for live art in Seattle. Look at this crowd. Half masked, half unmasked. We're really coming to the end of this thing.
Yeah, it's very good to see.
Should we hear a little bit of what's going on in the venue? Let's hear what they have to say. right, Morgan. I think we are ready to go in round 2.
Very exciting. 6 new artists that we just saw get introduced. A couple of newbies. Lots of artists joining us again, which I always love to see. Our battle becomes an addiction.
Oh, look
right?
at this. This is such a great palette on Brittany Sylvester, who we've seen a couple of times, a fantastic artist. That is a pro palette. I think she brought her own even there, an acrylic sheet.
Glass palette.
A very clean one.
Nice.
Yeah. And here, Christopher Dowell, also an Art Battle Seattle veteran. I see what's going on here. These guys all want the opportunity to make it to the finals, the Seattle finals, Washington State finals, really, in hopes to attend the national championships, because these are some heavy hitters coming in here.
Oh yeah, they're taking their chance. All right, and 20 minutes on the clock. The round has officially started, and I don't know about you, but I'm ready.
I'm thrilled. You see this list of artists, and it's all going to unfold in front of us here. But this is a very talented group. You're going to see some great paintings.
I love even just seeing the pure arsenal of paint that Billy's got at the bottom of his easel there. He did not come to play.
Yes. Oh man, each of these palettes is such a diverse approach. I love this here. A very, very limited palette, but of course, as you point out, we've got what's on the ground. But that's a work of art just in itself.
And lots of sketching starting off in this first 50 seconds here. We've got Alexis Gamber with one pencil on the canvas and one behind her back, ready to switch out at a moment's notice. And looks like she's using some sketches of her own for her reference as well.
I love that. To me, that's it's the purest. It's the purest approach. You know, you want to do some pre-work.
All right. Sir Morgan, are we here? Are we back?
We are here and we are back for the third and final round of Art Battle Seattle.
Who have we got?
Oh,
Who
man.
made it?
We've got some really strong artists coming into the third and final round with a new canvas. So the top two artists who made it from round one were Mo Willem, who did the otter painting, and Raya Wu, who did the lilac background portrait. And from round number 2, which we just saw, moving on is Brittany Sylvester, who had the chartreuse-eyed portrait with lots going on in the background. And then finally, we have Christopher Dahl, who did that kind of intergalactic landscape painting.
Oh, good. What a great variety. We're going to see some real magic here in the third and final round. Only one of these artists will be crowned champion of tonight's event. That will be decided by audience vote, including anybody who's watching and joining with us online. So you can share and like this and comment, and even other people can comment and help us decide who the champion artist will be. Oh my gosh, I think we're going to get another otter.
I'm into it. I support more otters.
Go for it. Well, you know what's nice is that there's an opportunity now for a collector to buy 2 otter paintings tonight and have them, by the same artist. It's very special.
And otters mate for life. So,
oh my gosh, 2 otters?
Yeah.
It's otters mate for life.
They do.
It's beautiful. If you hang on to them long enough, you might get some otter babies, otter painting babies.
Just start commissioning Mo to just cover your whole house in otter families.
Okay, so look at that. Starting right off with a spray. I wish we could see that stuff. So who's our final artist here? Is this Raya?
I believe this is.
Yeah.
Or is this Brittany? I think this is Brittany at easel number 3. And very similar start to her first piece, mapping out the bottom half of a face there. And
that's some fast and good sketch work.
Mm-hmm. And here with Christopher, we're starting off the bat with kind of this blue orb of cerulean.
Portal to another dimension, I tell you. Ooh. Wormhole.
And I love his mask also has a galaxy on it. Christopher's
on
brand today. And adding some red flourishes over there.
So Christopher's specialty really is space works. That could be, essentially space landscapes or even some ships in there. We saw a beautiful sort of otherworldly image with sort of an intergalactic lighthouse in the previous painting, and it was great. I'm really glad he's here, and it's going to contrast so beautifully against these other artists. And yep, there it is. The beginning of an otter.
I think
this otter is half in the water. I can't wait also. It's going to be so cute.
And
yeah, so that's the reflection down below? It's hard to tell. Oh, she's... I was worried we were doing her a disservice by having something pressing against the back of the canvas.
But it was
she was pressing against the back of the canvas.
Interesting.
That's I've never seen that before.
Yeah, was that
so
stabilization
sort of create...
or technique or...
I think that it was to change the way that the paint basically to focus it. Because obviously, if you did a dry brush and pressed on the back of the canvas, you could, of course, more would come out on the spot where you were pressing. That's very
some next
innovative.
Level stuff.
Yeah, holy moly! If anybody's taking notes for art battle techniques, a new one for tonight is pressing on the back of the canvas to change the way the paint is applied on the front with a brush.
So cool. And now we've got Raya working with this spray bottle here and getting all of these luscious greens running into each other.
I love it. That palette is not my usual palette, but I am loving it tonight. Wow.
Yeah, green is hard. Green is a difficult beast to tame because it has so many facets of vibrancy in it, and it can almost come off being too much. But I like the way that she's washing it out with that water. And here we are with Brittany.
And here's a totally different palette. And this is going to be beautiful. I think it's going to be Brittany to beat. The real question is which one of these other artists will be able to. I mean, it might be early to say, but if she does anything close to the quality of her previous one with these colors, and the eyes again are sort of covered here, right?
Yes, and that's definitely something that's present in her studio work as well. She's often got kind of these figures emerging from abstraction and these like color fields, but often with the eyes obscured.
Wonder if that's just because she has trouble drawing eyes, or if it's a poetic statement.
Well, actually, in some of her studio work, she does have eyes and she can execute. It's just a design choice.
Okay, well, thank you for having that answer, Morgan. That's really great. I imagine that was the case, but there you go.
And I think that we're gonna get. I think you're correct with this portal intergalactic vortex.
It's a little sloppier than the first one, and that's maybe a crude word to use. But I'm hoping what's going on is essentially he's rushing, so that there is some kind of something in the foreground that has a lot more detail to use the rest of this time. Because I mean, we're only 7 minutes gone or something like that. Is that right?
4.5.
Only 4.5 gone? Okay,
only
so
4.5 gone.
I think that's what we're going to see there. He's trying to get the background out of the way so there can be a really impressive piece on top. But hey, who knows? Let's see.
And honestly, it's a lot of canvas to cover too. So I think that he's working really rapidly so that he has enough paint on the canvas quickly enough that it's still workable. So he's not being careful and considered and placing, because then he wouldn't have the opportunity to blend. That's my impression.
Ooh, look at this. There's a portrait. Oh, that was a risky move. This. Did you see her? She was not sure. She was like, if I do this paper towel press on this beautiful work that I've done. But she needed to go over top of it. That's why she did it. I mean, it was beautiful on its own, but it needed more content, but it was too wet. So she had to take that risk, and I think it's definitely paid off.
I am into this. Oh, and look at how she's taking the paint away just slightly with the absorption of the cloth. And again, we're getting this kind of sherbet, like cotton candy-esque palette from Brittany here, and I'm really into the way that the skin tone is blending with these oranges and pinks coming down.
Yes, the addition of the pink on the left side is really going to make this. And you know what? I'm addicted to making predictions in this round, but I bet you we see that pink again that is flared up somewhere prominent, potentially even in the eye region. Let's see.
Totally. Yeah, I can definitely see that being something that she weaves throughout the palette.
Because no doubt she's looking at it and thinking the same thing, like, damn, that pink looks good. And I think it'll be hard to avoid taking it to the next level, even though just leaving it just as it is would be sufficient.
And I like that we're seeing, again, we're witnessing this particular moment in Brittany's piece where she's put in the darks of the nose and is refining the lip. And I always like seeing that, seeing the consistent elements in an artist's execution process. So a lot of her work is very intuitive and lots of mark making that might seem random to us, but then there's also that honing technique where she knows the formula for the face that she wants to get going on.
And not just the formula for the face, but the formula for the sort of both the distortions of the face as well the sort of little abstract elements like those dots and that sort of thing that we saw last time. I bet you the sort of the logic of the dots, as it were, or some other additive element will be consistent across all of them, which is one of the reasons it makes it exciting to collect multiple pieces from an artist like that, because they reference each other. You can learn something from one and apply it to how you see the other.
I love it. I just love falling in love with these artists' processes and really getting a sense of what they do and how art battle work translates to their studio work and vice versa, and just yeah, really wonderful opportunity here to kind of get a behind the scenes.
Mm-hmm.
And with Mo here, we saw her applying the background first, and now I'm realizing that she's done that so that the fur has an opportunity to kind of cascade over. She doesn't have to worry about chipping in that background around the fur. She can create the texture kind of coming off of the animal as well.
Mm-hmm. She's you know what strikes me about this is that the paint seems thinner and sort of a bit watery. Like I don't think we're getting as dark a brown and as much of texture as we did previously. She may be using a more watery technique, or I'm not sure what it is, but I feel like I really noticed that from the first painting.
That's a great observation, and I do think that she's using more of a wash technique. And speaking of washes, back with Raya here, and
wow, a few more hits with the spray gun on that for sure. Look at those eyes, because that's where we saw her sort of dry it off. But the original sketch that put that, the original marks that put that paint there are now completely obliterated through the water. But yet the eye persists, so it's very cool.
Yeah, we're getting that kind of ghost of the image technique, and it's a careful balance with that piece of trying to not wash it out too much. It's very much a push and pull with that piece.
Whoa, our cameraman's having too much fun.
Yeah, getting a little flirty, I think.
Flirting
with
easy.
the crowd.
We know you're having a good time. Show us a painting. The crowd does look good, though.
Yeah,
the crowd
there's some
does look
beautiful
good.
people there.
Yeah, happy people.
Happy otters
there you
town.
go. Happy otters. Well, how can you? We were just looking at the faces of the people who were looking at that otter, so how can you not be smiling?
Yeah, absolutely.
The people behind this one might be a little more serious. Let's check it out. Are they more serious? Okay. Well,
We're
I feel like I'm on a FBI stakeout here.
yeah, and we're back with Pants Cam. Okay, now we're back with Raya, and as we were just talking about that kind of push and pull of this piece, we're seeing her repeatedly washing it out and then bringing details back. So it's a very careful editing process.
That's actually incredible, because to have one of the main problems with Art Battle is you put a mark on the canvas and you're kind of stuck with it.
Yeah.
But this technique means that you can be iterative. You can, put a mark on and then kind of wash it off, almost literally.
Yeah.
And that's actually, I really like the palette of that piece and the figure that's on that piece. But applied to with a different subject and a different palette, it'd be a whole different painting. And like you do that same technique here with this figure and this, and it would be, wow, it'd be something.
Oh, look at that yellow. Those pops of yellow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just so excited for that. And I really didn't
Yeah, the yellow to bring the
anticipate-
depth is really great.
And I really didn't anticipate the black turtleneck element, but it's just creating a really great point of contrast against all of those lighter colors.
And it's a bit horizontal as well. It makes it, obviously it doesn't look like a landscape, but there's sort of an element that's sort of mid-painting that's pretty much horizontal, linear, and that's kind of that's cool.
Absolutely, it's like an anchor. It's providing weight.
Uh-huh.
And here we are back with Christopher and his vortex, and I wonder how much more blending we're going to get. This is much more abstract, I think, than we're used to seeing from him. So he's got,
I gotta say, I love it.
7.5 minutes.
I was a little cool on this painting at one point, but his technique of being able to get the color groupings and the color areas on, and then doing sort of micro blending around the edges of that color block is very good. That is sometimes, you can have that plan and it's a very hard one to pull off, but he is obviously a master at it. And it also gives him the opportunity to be a bit iterative, to put it on and sort of play with it and have it enhance without it getting muddier.
Mm-hmm.
That's real skill.
Yeah, very careful mark making there from Christopher. And now we're getting this textural element from Mo that we saw in the beginning of her first piece. We had quite a heavy-handed texture on the otter, which I think was working really well, and I'm glad to see that she's bringing that into this second otter, who is cleaning his little face. I'm so pleased with this.
It is great, and these two will be fantastic to collect together. I think that I would guess that the cute otter trick doesn't work twice on this audience. And not to say that she won't get a ton of votes, but I think that she won't be over the top with this otter. But still, we have a few minutes left, so let's see.
Yeah, I agree. It's often you're kind of at the mercy of the audience and the temperature of the crowd that night of whether or not they're going to respond positively to paintings that are too similar to each other. Are they going to like that? Are they not going to like that? It really is dependent on the vibe of the crowd that night. And back with Raya here, and very interested in these kind of bubbles of pink that she has in the top part of this portrait. Kind of an unexpected element. Oh, and I'm so glad that we're here for this moment where she's
she's doing it again.
Pupils there.
Yeah, very, very cool.
Okay, and back with Brittany, and a lot of dark elements made it into the hair, which I was not expecting, but I think it creates more of a harmony in the piece with the shirt.
Very true. And really, this painting has become all about depth and shadow. You can see, this hair is sort of creating this little tunnel into this, pretty face underneath. It's cool. I like it. It's there's definitely a few directions that this painting could have gone. But this is a real standout. It's powerful, and I think it would be very welcome on a wall to see. You can also see this is a massive painting. I don't know if we have the exact size on this, but it must be at least 30 inches tall, if not taller.
Yeah, this is looking like a 24 by 36 canvas to me. It's a big piece. And here we are back with Christopher and this nebula. Getting a really incredible display of movement. We're getting kind of the swirling of the outer rings, and then like a forward, almost like a sucking inward motion from the innermost ring of this nebula. And thank you so much to our camera person for zooming in on some of that beautiful texture and brushwork there.
This is a great piece. A contender, I think, for sure. That's Jeff, right?
Christopher.
Yeah. Oh, Christopher, she's... Well, this gets better and better every time we see it. There's no doubt about that. She's not gone over the edge yet, and the texture that's being added is definitely proper polished texture. If we're starting to guess who's going to be winning, I think that we're still seeing this is a little too same as the first one. As much as that is an adorable and lovely thing to do.
And I'd love to see a little bit more in the reflected water in front of the otter too.
Yes,
but
that would take
textures.
That would take it. Yeah. How much time do we have left?
2 minutes and 50 seconds.
Okay, so that's definitely the amount of time that somebody could decide to focus on a secondary element like the reflective piece there. So maybe she will.
And we're starting to get a sense of like that rapid final minutes ticking down.
Yeah, there's a bit of urgency.
Yes, we're seeing some fast flying brushes and some quick decisions being made. This is kind of the nail bitering wow, part of the round where the artists are really like, okay, these are make it or break it brush strokes at this point.
Look at this piece from Brittany. She's and you see her bopping along there. She's pretty thrilled with her experience and her results, I think. And I think this is a strong contender for the champion of the night. It's got to be up there.
Yeah, really.
It's just so there, you know, and there's nothing really wrong with it. I think people are going to be very excited about that.
Yeah, it's very realized.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, much more abstract than we're used to seeing from Christopher, but no less well executed.
Yeah, I think, honestly, to a degree, what he was going for here is it's a bit of a safe route, because this is obviously a technique he has deep experience with, and the result is fantastic. But it's also sort of, like you throw a spaceship in there or even a planet or something like that, and it might narrow the audience a bit. This has an appreciation from a sort of a space perspective and an abstract perspective and sort of a color field perspective. So I think it's very strategic, and I bet we see some votes in that direction as a result.
Yeah, that's a great point. The strategy of the game is never more important than in the third round, because people have an expectation of you now. So in the first rounds, you're new to the crowd. They're just enthralled with whatever you're doing. And in the second round, they're invested in you. They voted for you. They want you to be their champion.
They're on your team. So.
Oh, and we are counting down the final seconds here. And brushes down.
Throwing the brush down. Brushes down. Wow, let's do a tour here. Brittany, absolutely. I think for me, she's the one to beat. This is a fantastic piece as well. We're going to see it right up there, and that's going to capture a lot of the sort of non-portrait vote, whatever that is in the room. Obviously enough to put him here in this final round.
Love the last minute addition of that kind of seafoam green in the hair. One thing about Brittany is she always keeps us guessing.
For me, the reference, the sort of the shading and depth that comes in these sort of wild colors, this like pink and yellow, that is, for me, that's what takes that painting to another level. If that was just sort of a plain face in the middle, it would absolutely not be the same thing.
And Raya's paint.
Raya here,
her piece is so wet that it's still painting itself.
Yeah.
The timer is finished. The piece itself is still going.
Which is, by the way, a fantastic idea for a technique. Right at the end, putting a bunch of wet on is that's something. Okay, well, geez, it's a and in the end, it's a tight round. I think that we're going to see a close one. And so what that means is, if you're watching this, please do get your votes in. Artbattle.com/vote. You click on it, and then you find the painting that you like. You click on that, and then you click vote. Also, same deal. Click auction at the top. We would love for you to take these paintings home, or for us to send them to you. It's an incredible deal because some of these paintings are huge, and our shipping is flat rate. So check it out, and but we would love to share with you these beautiful artists' work. So thanks very much, and we're going to be back to announce the winner, or check for the winner announcements in the comments or on the Art Battle Seattle Instagram. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
and it gets by on the efforts and love of people like you. That said, photo op. Did you buy it? Are you buying it right now?
Yeah, I love it.
If you bought something and it's successful, I don't get live feeds of exactly when they close the auctions, but it's gonna be really close if it hasn't already. Sometimes we leave a couple of close ones open a little later. You'll come right up here and you'll find Dave setting up a table to collect your art and process all that. So come up here if you win a piece of art and take it home tonight. And then track down that artist and be like, I bought your art, I'm so excited. They like it. They do. Okay. With that said, I think. Oh, I should also say thank you to Haledales yet again. It's a great space with great people. Be kind to them. They're kind to us. Okay. Our winner for tonight, you gets the invitation back to next month, very soon. And we're classy here. $100 cash. It's in my hand until I lose it from my pocket. Austin, Max, I have drink tickets for you. Yeah. Our winner. There can be only one. You've all done great, but there can be only one winner. No matter how long I stall to announce that winner, there can still be only one winner for tonight. And that winner is Brittany Sylvester. Come on up here, Brittany, where are you? Take a bow. I won't make you give a speech, but at least show your dark audience that you exist. I mean, you should at least be like, wave, Queen Elizabeth style.
Oh, I think we might hear it from her.
Over and over and over again.
Thank you guys so very much.
She stole the mic. Good for her. Good for her. She literally stole the mic.
Sorry, Austin. Not really. But thank you guys so much. We love you,
That was wonderful. Don't ever touch my mic again. That was wonderful. It was worth it. Oh. You got an ugly laugh out of me. That's all you're gonna get. All right. Everyone else, Mark's been right back here. And this place is a Saturday, so we can really live it up. Thank you all for coming. We'll have some more tunes for you.
And a huge congratulations to our winner of tonight's edition of Art Battle Seattle, Brittany Sylvester.
Oh my God, what a character. Did you see her steal that mic? He should have interviewed her. And she's doing it again. She stole his mic. She is amazing.
I love that he's still holding it.
My new favorite artist. Oh, fantastic.
Yes, Brittany. And so we will be seeing Brittany at the Washington Regional Final.
Yes, and she's such a strong contender for that. I would not be surprised if that incredible talent and winning personality took her to the U.S. National Championships, which, as you all know, because you've been watching all night, is in Wichita Falls, Texas. That's coming up, and please don't forget, mark it in your calendars. Join us online. Join us in person. We've got lots of tickets. The venue is massive. We would be thrilled to see you there. Please come and join us. Again, congratulations to Brittany.
And to all of our incredible artists that we had tonight.
And to all of our incredible artists that we have tonight. Thank you. I'm looking here because I'm hoping that we're going to see an interview from Brittany any second here. So stick around for possibly some after footage. There's a little bit of venue audio. Come on, let's do it. Yep. Brittany, congratulations. She's really great. She had a plan. She stuck with it, and it really worked. This is an incredible group of paintings here, though, tonight. I mean, nobody should feel bad about their performance. And any of these artists would be welcome back at Art Battle to give it a second shot.
Yeah, really great group tonight. And thank you all for hanging out with us tonight in the internets and checking out all this awesome live art.
Yep, here we go. Stalling just a couple more seconds until that amazing Brittany interview comes on.
And we will be back tomorrow as well for Art Battle Mexico City.
Do not miss tomorrow's Art Battle. Art Battle Mexico City. It's going to be, the commentary is going to be in English, but the spoken language at the event and the hosting, of course, is all going to be Spanish. But it's the Mexico City events always have really fantastic talent, and I know you're going to see something. And also of a different persuasion, you know. It's this is a very, very, Northwest event here we're seeing tonight. Thematically in some of the paintings, some of the ideas, and I think you're going to see a lot of different action.
And tomorrow night's event is going to be at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Okay, that's 7 Eastern and 4 Pacific. We'll cut this together later, obviously. We're trying something new here for anybody who's still sticking with us. We're gonna, at the suggestion of one of our viewers on Facebook, we are working to get. Shout out to Tasha. Yes, thank you. We are going to try to be doing more interviews between the rounds and after the rounds. So we've asked our host, and I think he's clearly working on it to try to get Brittany backstage for a little bit of commentary. Look at that. She's having a great time. She's going to be absolutely thrilled to be in the championship event.
Yeah, just basking in her well-earned win right now.
I love this. It's really something. It really is. We should send her this video. It's like a, birthday girl party video. Okay. She's pointing at the camera person. She's walking this way. We're going to get it. If you're still here, you are in for a treat. We're going to get an interview with our Battle Seattle champion, Brittany Sylvester.
I've never done an interview.
I've never had a live interview before. What are you going to ask me?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
So we're doing this on the fly.
I guess we're recording now. I don't know. What's your name?
Brittany Sylvester.
And you won first place today.
First place.
Yay! What inspired your painting?
A lot of things. All my paintings are inspired by emotions. So I paint from my heart, and I paint all of my emotions. I put them all on the canvas. So typically I feel emotions in abundance, whether it doesn't matter the emotion. They're always very high. So I try to get them out on the canvas, and it just works with a lot of great paintings.
How long have you been painting?
I've been creating since, as far as I can remember. I didn't take art seriously until 2019. That's when I started my art business. That's when I really started believing in my art, wanted to get it out into the world to touch other people.
What's your art business?
Just BrittanySylvester.com.
Perfect.
Yeah, you can find me on Brittany Sylvester, BrittNee, Sylvester, SYLVESTER.com, or at Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest. Yeah.
And wow, congratulations!
Thank you.
Congratulations. Anything else you want to share?
I just really believe that art has the power to heal and connect community and touch somebody so deeply, even if it's a 20-minute painting, that I believe every painting is made for one specific person in the world. And when you can touch somebody with your art, that's like the greatest thing to me. Yeah.
Yes, it is. That's great. Thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
participating.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You
so
got
much.
my vote.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
And I hope to see you back for. We'll see you
Yeah,
back
we'll
for
see you
finals.
next month.
So
Yes.
can't wait to see you.
Thank you.
Is there anything you want to ask her? I'm doing a little interview. You want to ask her anything?
Got this.
Austin's mad at me because I took his mic.
You touched
twice.
his mic. Well, thank you again so much for coming, and congratulations.
Thank you so very much.
You're
I
welcome.
appreciate it. Sorry, Austin. My fantasy is get a nice